Hi, this is Mike Weber with Fight TV, and today I got my guest is Jon Fitch of World Series of Fighting. Jon, welcome to Fight TV.
Hey, welcome. Thanks for having me. Good to be on with you. I'm excited to talk about the fights.
Well, sounds good. I see you're based out of Las Vegas, so have you been out doing some road work out there in the heat you have going on this summer?
No, I'm not super big on road work, but I like doing my aerodyne bikes in the air conditioning.
Yeah, sounds like a heck of an idea. That's a good thing to do. But
yeah, I'm coming off of my world championship fight in April. I fought the fight with a bulging disc in my neck, so I haven't been doing a lot physically since then. It's been taken care of now, and I'm getting back to training this week.
Well, do you have a next fight scheduled yet, or are you waiting to see how rehabilitation's going?
Well, they're telling me probably October, which gives me plenty of time to rehab and be ready to go and strong.
Well, great. Well, we appreciate you joining us today. World Series of Fighting, WSOF 31, taking place this Friday. The prelims start at 5:45 p.m. Eastern, and then we go to the main event at 9 o'clock. Fight TV will be carrying the prelims around the world. Anywhere that you have a Wi-Fi connected mobile device or television, you'll be able to watch it live on Fight TV. And then, of course, the main event is going to be on NBC Sports cable channel in the United States and Canada. But you also, if you're outside the United States or Canada, will be able to watch this event live on Fight TV. John, I don't know if you realize this, but, all of our engineers, production for the Fight TV app is actually done out of Bulgaria. And it just so happens the main event, your world heavyweight champion, is Mr. Ivanov from Bulgaria. And of course, we're making it for free in Bulgaria. We've been really getting people excited because the only way they're going to be able to see their world champion is going to be on the Fight app in Bulgaria. It looks like a pretty big fight here between him and Josh Copeland. I wonder if you give me your opinion of that fight.
Yeah, I love Blagoy is a monster. He really is. 2008, he was a world sambo champion, and he beat Fedor Emelianenko in that tournament. And Fedor, at the time, 2008, was considered the greatest heavyweight in MMA ever. So he was able to beat him in the national sport of the country. So he's a very skilled guy. He's been around for a long time. One of the reasons I think a lot of people don't know of him is in 2012 he was actually stabbed in his heart, and so he missed some time rehabilitating, and now he's back up on a tear and a world champion. This guy's he's really a monster.
Yeah, he's got an incredible personal story of how, really for all intents and purposes, he shouldn't be with us anymore. He not only recovered from a serious incident, but he is now considered, obviously he's the heavyweight champion, and most people never gave him a chance to even fight again or even walk again, right?
Yeah, he was in critical condition for a little while, and he almost died. Now he's a world champion. Talk about tough. That's a scary dude to think about going into a fight against. Or what else are you going to do to the guy?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, there's not too many other things you can do to stop someone there. So I know we have a big contingent.
The guy's already been stabbed in the heart.
Exactly. That's quite a thing to overcome, and we're gonna have a big contingent here at Fight TV rooting for him. We try not to be take sides, but there's just not that many champions come out of Bulgaria, so we have to be with them. So
yeah. I think we're going to see a lot more tough fighters from that Eastern European area because of the sport of combat sambo, actually, because that sport, it's a feeder program for MMA. They're basically just fighting MMA with a gi top on, like very limited rules like MMA, but it's on an open mat, wrestling mat. And Eastern Europeans are already known for being great wrestlers and good boxers, so it's a natural sport for them to dominate in.
Yeah, I think you're absolutely right. We're going to see more and more Eastern Europeans getting involved in MMA and becoming stars here in the United States. Another top event on the show for Friday is Jason High against Mike Ricci. Let's get your opinion on that event.
Jason High flies under the radar a lot, but like his losses, he's got 5 losses. There's Dos Anjos, who's a UFC champ, Eric Silva, who was at 170 when he fought him. He's had a really good career. Charlie Brennan and Mario Zamowski, they're all guys who have competed at a very high level, competed against champions or have been champions themselves. Like, Jason Knight kind of doesn't get the credit he deserves, I think, because for some reason he's just flying under the radar. He needs maybe some big wins or a belt or something to really put himself out there as one of the top guys in that weight. And then Ricci's a tough guy, scrapper. He's been around a long time. But I don't think he's fought as high a caliber of fighters as Jason High has.
Well, it should be a pretty good match up there. Mike's 11-4 record and Jason's has 19-5 record. So we'll see how that one goes. I can't wait to see it myself. John, tell me about some of the other people on the card here that you have your eye on, matches that you will find interesting on the show.
Well, I think the fight of the night is probably going to be the Palomino and Moreas fight. Those guys are very explosive, very, very exciting fighters. They've all been in fights that are deemed, extremely exciting. So that'll be a fight that I think keep an eye on. You don't want to miss that fight because that's probably going to be the one everybody's talking about on Saturday.
Right.
And then Phil Hawes is making his World Series debut. He's 3-0. He was a Division II national champion. He's a really big prospect signing for World Series. And they scooped him up at a good time, and it was really interesting to see how he progresses with his career.
Great. And then, as I mentioned earlier, Fight TV is going to be showing the undercard for this event, the prelims. Actually, all told, there's going to be 12 matches on the show from the Foxwoods Casinos up in Connecticut. And who do you have your eye on in the prelim fights coming up?
Well, I have an ex-teammate from AKA, Justin Willis, who's fighting heavyweight. He's a big, exciting, athletic guy. He played football for San Jose State a while ago, and then he's been doing pretty well, trying to make a name for himself right now. He's up and coming. I think he's fun to watch. He's a big guy, like he's one of those guys that has to cut weight a little bit to make the 265 weight class, So he's got big power, but he's got a gas tank too. He's there training with Daniel Cormier and Luke Rockhold and Cain Velasquez all the time, So he's been in the trenches with some seasoned guys, so he knows what's up. I think he's going to be an exciting fighter for people to watch.
Well, that's one of the things I always love about MMA. You'll see guys that are going in there at 135, and you'll see guys there at 265. I've seen over 300 sometimes too. And so you get all kinds of techniques and obviously very different types of fights depending on the weight classes.
Yeah, different games. I think guys who are able to use their physical attributes and technique together to make up something new. I think that's the most exciting thing about the sport.
Well, John, you have a pretty interesting background growing up in the Midwest and was a collegiate wrestler at Purdue, a Big Ten school that has a good wrestling tradition. When you decided to become a wrestler at Purdue, did you ever have any long-term intentions to become a MMA fighter?
I watched early UFCs back in the early 90s, and then I thought it was cool, but I never really thought about it until I got to college. My assistant coach, Tom Erickson, was a professional fighter. He would go to Japan and fight in Pride, a couple times a year. And through him, I met Gary Goodrich and Mark Coleman, who are also guys who fought in the UFC and over in Pride. And meeting those guys, talking to them, hearing their stories, their travels, it just sounded like so much fun to me that it looked like a way better job possibility than actually using my degree and becoming a teacher. So, it's just kind of those circumstances that didn't present themselves. I might never have fought.
Did you say your degree's in education?
Education, yeah. It's history and PE.
I'm sure you could keep the students in line there in the classroom if you had the chance, right?
Yeah.
So you obviously have
you're not allowed to discipline or anything. They just kind of teachers. That's one of the reasons why I didn't want to become a teacher. Is like in the classroom these days, kind of just a babysitter. Can't even.
Yeah, it's sort of interesting. Things have changed. My father was a school teacher, so I definitely know what you're talking about. And from when he started to the time he retired, you're right. Even that he was a physics teacher and stuff. Things have really changed the way you have to work in school systems, especially different parts of the country or cities opposed to rural areas. So John, you've had a very good career. I don't want to insult you by saying you might be in the twilight years, but obviously retirement may be coming up there at some point. What is your future plans here of staying in the ring?
I think the world's a changing place, and with technology, it's much easier for someone to be in contact with their fan base for much longer. And we're seeing that now. We're seeing guys who are in their late 40s and 50s still getting fights. And that's because they've built a fan base who wants to watch them fight. And I think as long as the guys are healthy and people are healthy and people want to pay money to watch them fight, they should be allowed to fight as long as, they're evenly matched up, those type of things. But I don't really think that retirement is like a necessary outlet these days. I think you can go and still see Rich Little here in Las Vegas do his routine. Why not go see Randy Couture or a Jon Fitch fight when he's 50 years old? If I'm fighting somebody else who's 50 years old, I'm not at a physical risk of hurting myself. If I can jump out of a plane or climb a rock with no ropes, I should be able to fight somebody if I can pass the physical. No,
I can't agree with more, and that's actually true in most walks of life. I just read an article about Chris Christopherson. He's 80 years old, but still active yet, as a performer. And God knows Willie Nelson's way in his 80s. I think he travels as much as he ever has. So it's in every walk of life. I think that's very much true. I'm glad to hear that. We see that in other sports too, in wrestling and boxing. Guys are now competing well in their 40s, 50s, and sometimes even 60. But
it's not about
keep healthy.
World champion against a 20-year-old anymore. It's just about somebody wants to watch them fight again. They want to watch them fight somebody near their skill level just because they're a fan.
Well, I can't agree with you more on that. Well, John, thank you so much for your time today. We're looking forward to this event on Friday. I hope you're if you're there join the event, or you can join us here at fight.tv. Make sure you download the app.
I'm excited about you guys' app because I don't even have cable, so it's hard for me to find sites sometimes to watch. So I'm always on my iPad trying to find stuff, and it's not there all the time. So now I can download and get the Fight app, and I can watch these fights.
Yeah, well, in the case of the World Series of Fighting, the app is free and the program is free. It's commercial supported. So there's really not much of a risk there, and you happen to have a Wi-Fi connected TV, you can actually watch it on the big screen just as easily using the Fight app.
Carry your devices,
yeah. It's a pretty cool product. You can download it at your iTunes or your Android Google Play Store, and Fight is spelled F-I-T-E when you're researching and pulling it down there. It's a very easy product to work with, which is one of the reasons why it works. It's because keep things simple,
Yeah.
It works very well. So, well, John, anything else you'd like to add about this Friday's event?
No, I think it's going to be exciting. Make sure you tune in and get your popcorn ready.
Yeah, it should be a good event. 12 matches all set up for Friday night for Foxwood Casinos in Connecticut. And John, thank you for being our guest here today, and we'll be following a career down the road.
All right, thank you. Thanks for having me.
You're welcome.